If you're considering the Ulefone Armor 11T5G, hold on before you buy because today I'm revealing some serious problems that might change your mind. But here's what surprised me most. This rugged smartphone actually brings some unique features that are rarely found in phones at this price point, making it a confusing package overall. So why does a phone with integrated thermal imaging and 5G connectivity get only a 3.8 rating on Amazon? Stay tuned because in this review I'm going deep into what really works, what falls short, and who should even consider buying this device. Let's start with the big promise. The Armor 11T5G claims to be an all-terrain beast, packing an integrated thermal imaging camera with MSX technology, alongside a 5MP auxiliary camera that can detect heat signatures from 10 to 400 degrees Celsius. Sounds like a sci-fi gadget, right? But here's the catch. Despite this standout feature, there are major drawbacks you need to be aware of, especially if you're a hands-on user expecting smooth performance and durability in daily wear and tear. But don't worry, I'll also highlight some reasons why you might still want to consider this phone later on. First off, who is the Ulefone Armor 11T5G really for? If you're a construction worker, outdoor adventurer, or someone who frequently works in harsh environments where dust, drops, and water exposure are common, this rugged smartphone could be appealing. It's built tough, meeting IP68, IP69K, and MIL STD 810G standards, meaning it's waterproof, dustproof, and drop-proof according to military-grade testing. So it's designed to take a beating. Also, if you love gadgets and tech with a twist, its thermal imaging camera lets you detect heat leaks, electrical faults, or spot wildlife in the dark. Pretty handy, right? But here's the story behind the scenes. Despite this military-grade promise, many users report that the camera system struggles, especially the thermal lens. The 48MP triple camera setup with a 2MP macro and 2MP sub-camera doesn't deliver the image quality you'd expect. Night mode helps, but photos still come out grainy or blurry, especially at night or in challenging light. The thermal imaging, while cool on paper, is reportedly not as precise or useful as professional-grade thermal cameras, making it more of a novelty than a tool for serious work. Imagine taking a thermal photo to check your electrical panel and ending up with a fuzzy heat blob, not quite the superhero gadget you imagined. Then, there's the main brain under the hood, the MediaTek Dimensity 800 chipset with 8GB RAM and 256GB UFS 2.1 storage. This combination makes the Armor 11T5G capable of decent multitasking and normal daily use. However, it's not a powerhouse for gamers or power users. The phone can handle streaming videos and most apps with ease, but occasionally lags or heating issues pop up when pushing it harder. So if you're buying this for hyperfast 5G gaming, the reality might disappoint because hyperfast connectivity needs hyperfast processing, and this chipset struggles under the pressure. It's a bit like having a race car engine with a bicycle frame. You're getting the speed, but maybe not the durability. Here's a twist for you. The Armor 11T5G runs Android 11 out of the box with some solid software features like improved security, app privacy controls, and screen recording. That's nice, but the user interface sometimes feels clunky and buggy. Frequent software updates are patchy at best, which can leave you vulnerable or annoyed by glitches down the line. Plus, the fingerprint scanner and face unlock, while present, have shown to be unreliable in real-world tests, especially when your fingers are wet or dirty, which defeats the purpose of a rugged phone meant for outdoor use. Oh, and speaking of rugged, the 6.1-inch full-view IPS display with a water drop notch is supposed to be tough and shock-resistant. While it doesn't crack easily, the screen brightness and color vibrancy fall short compared to competitors. Watching videos or viewing photos isn't as immersive as you'd want, so if you're all about media consumption, this display won't wow you. It's practical but not premium. Now, You might wonder about connectivity and extras. The Armor 11 T5G supports 5G for blazing fast internet, 10x faster than 4G they say, and has dual SIM slots, so you can balance work and personal lines. NFC with Google Pay is included, handy for cashless payments. Navigation is solid thanks to GPS, GLONASS, Beidou, and Galileo systems. Plus, the box comes fully loaded with a charger, data cable, a tempered glass screen protector, even a Type-C to 3.5mm audio adapter. A nice touch since many new phones ditch the headphone jack. But here's a little joke for you. Why don't smartphones ever get tired? Because they have a power bank. Unfortunately, the Armor 11 T5G sports only a 5200 mAh battery, decent, but with all the power-hungry features like 5G and thermal imaging, you might find yourself charging twice a day under heavy use. Battery life isn't bad, but expecting marathon usage without reaching for the charger isn't realistic. I also have to mention the price point. At its current cost, it positions itself in the mid-range rugged phone segment, but the mixed reviews suggest it may not justify the price tag for everyone. Some competitors offer better camera performance or smoother software experience for a similar or even lower price. So unless ruggedness and thermal imaging are your absolute must-haves, you might get more value elsewhere. Let's talk a bit about the experience of use. Imagine stepping outside during a rainy fall hike. Your Armor 11 T5G feels sturdy in your hand, no worries about slipping because of the textured sides, and you whip out the thermal camera to spot temperature differences in trees and rocks. It's a neat conversation starter. But then, when you try to snap some regular photos, the camera disappoints, the photos come out grainy, and your game slows down to a crawl right when you're about to beat your high score. That's the kind of mixed bag you're signing up for. Here's a second joke to lighten the mood. Why did the smartphone go to therapy? It lost its sense of touch. And speaking of touch, the Armor 11T's touchscreen, while responsive most times, can act up if your fingers are sweaty or you wear gloves, which is ironic considering its target users are outdoor types who often wear gloves. So what's the final verdict? Do I recommend the Ulefone Armor 11 T5G? If you crave ruggedness with a twist, that unique thermal imaging feature that no one else offers in this price range, and you don't mind some compromises with the camera or software quirks, then yes, this phone could be your gadget buddy. It's also nice for those who want the basics of a modern smartphone with extras like 5G, solid storage, and respectable battery life. But if you want a sleek, smooth user experience with top-tier camera quality, or if you're a heavy gamer that relies on seamless performance, you should look elsewhere. Here's a third joke to wrap that thought. Why did the smartphone feel cold? Because it left its windows open. And thankfully, the Armor 11T's thermal sensor can let you see heat leaks. Literally your phone's way of saying it can track the cold better than your average gadget. Before we finish, here's an important note. Ulefone offers a 2-year warranty and a repair center in Hungary, so if something goes wrong, customer support isn't a black hole like with some obscure brands. The box includes almost everything you need to get started right away, making setup easy. In closing, if you're intrigued by the Armor 11 T5G's rugged design and cool thermal camera for practical use on job sites or outdoor expeditions, it's worth considering. Just don't expect a flagship smartphone experience. The trade-offs might annoy some, but for others, those unique features will justify the price. If you want the best price and to see the latest deals for the Ulefone Armor 11 T5G, check out the link in the description below. It'll take you to Amazon where you can read customer feedback and get the full specs yourself. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more honest reviews, and drop your questions in the comments. Tell me, would you use that thermal camera to spy on your coffee mug to make sure it's still hot? No judgment here. That's all for now. Stay safe, stay rugged, and I'll see you in the next review.